There is one decision you are going to make for this next year that is more important than any other decision you're going to make for 2025. Not what training site you're subscribed to, not what poker sites you play on. It is the people you keep in your inner circle. Here is one of the most important and valuable pieces of advice I can give you. There are good people who have good intentions, who are good friends, who will absolutely cost you your poker career if you're not careful. My name is Rob Gardner. I am a 20-year poker professional, and no, I am not being dramatic. The reality is, over my career, I've been able to see and pinpoint exactly how successful someone is going to be in poker based on the people that are closest to them and have the greatest influence over them. And the reason for this is simple. Your inner circle is where you are going to spend the majority of your social time. And this is a place where a lot of time and energy and emotion can be wasted if you're not careful. And a lot of times this happens not because the people in your life are malicious or evil or have a major issue that is contributing to the problem, but it can be as simple as someone not being aligned with your goals, your values, your mission, your purpose for this season in your life. And that mishmashing can lead to a lot of wasted effort on your part. So as we head into this next year, let me give you some questions to ask yourself about some of the people you consider to be close friends, and have you answer them and think about the implications for those people in your life over this coming year. Now, don't panic too much if you have a bunch of friends. You're like, oh God, Rob's going to tell me to cut off all my friends. We'll talk about what to do if somebody is not good for your inner circle here at the end. First, ask yourself, what value does this person bring to my life? Now, that's a question that may feel selfish to you at first hearing it, and you may feel uncomfortable thinking about it, but it's a very important question to ask, because the people you're going to spend the most time with need to be people that are bringing value to you and making you stronger and making you better and bringing you closer to your goals. Chances are, if you're still watching this video, you're the type of person that helps others and tries to lift other people up. So it's going to be extremely important that the people you have in your inner circle are doing the same thing for you. And you have to really think about this, because a lot of times it's easy to say, oh yeah, that's a good friend of mine, they bring me good value. What is that value? Are they inspiring you? Are they encouraging you? Are they helping you get better at the game? Do they help you when you're struggling and down? What are the tangible things they're doing to get you closer to your goals? If you can't immediately identify it, then chances are they're really not bringing as much value as you think they are. And the value you see is just the fact that they're in your inner circle and it's been that way for a long time and it's a comfortable place for you to be. Second question is, does this person really want to invest in your growth? Are they excited to see you grow? Do they want to see you get closer to their goals? And are they trying to identify ways to put you and position you best to achieve those goals? Or are they just kind of along as a spectator, along for the ride, enjoying the journey? People who are invested in your goals have a tangible interest in your success, one that takes them to a point of action where they're willing to do things to help you get closer to those goals. This goes way above and beyond just being one of your best fans. They want to be a part of the process, and they have something to bring to the table that helps advance you on those goals. Number 3, what synergies exist in working together? In other words, if you are going towards your goals and this friend is going towards their goals, what is happening at the same time that benefits you both? A lot of times this is pretty simple. It comes down to, do you have similar poker goals? If you're both trying to make it as full-time poker players, then there's a synergy there as you're facing similar struggles, similar challenges, and you're able to learn from each other's shortcomings, failures, and successes. This makes the conversation and interaction that happens way more fruitful because you're aligned in your mission and purpose. That doesn't mean you have to be playing the same stakes, the same format, the same live or online, the same casino, all of that stuff. It just means that the goals you have in poker are somewhat aligned with the goals your friends have in poker, and there is lessons to be learned from interacting and sharing those experiences together. Now, the inverse of this is true as well. Question number 4 is, what complementary styles exist between you and your friends? Maybe you're really, really good at emotional strength and staying confident and having a good mindset and avoiding tilt, but you have a friend that's really, really good at studying complex topics and building simple heuristics or tips out of it. And you can work together to help each other by complementing each other's strengths and weaknesses. And the last question, and this is the hardest one, but it's the one we have to be the most introspective on. Am I wasting time or energy here? You have so limited amounts of time, energy, focus, emotional strength, that if you are taking those valuable assets and you are wasting them on conversations that are not productive, that are not fruitful, that are not benefiting you or the person you're having the conversation with, it can suck incredible amounts of efficiency out of your poker journey and your poker goals. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about one-off conversations. You're always going to have the occasional bad conversation or the occasional draining conversation or the occasional unfruitful conversation. That's going to happen. But if there is a pattern of conversations that are unproductive and unfruitful and are ultimately draining you of these valuable resources, you have to have the wherewithal to identify it and make appropriate changes. Now, chances are, if you're being honest, you probably can think of one or two people in your life that are not good answers to these questions. You're like, oh crap, Rob's gonna want me to dump my friends. That's not at all what I'm suggesting. But you do need two concentric circles, your inner circle and your outer circle. Your outer circle can be all of your friends. You don't need to dump any of them. What you need to do with your outer circle is set very healthy boundaries and stick to those healthy boundaries. You can still catch up, keep up with what's going on in their lives, update them with what's going on in your lives. It doesn't have to be this legalistic experience, but know in your mind how much time each week or each month you're willing to contribute to those types of activities, and make sure you're not going over that allotted time limit. I'm sure we can all relate to those friends that wanted to talk our ears off every day for an hour and a half every day about nothing. And in those situations, we've all had to learn to dial those conversations down. Otherwise, we can literally spend 10 hours a week having conversations about nothing. One thing that's been great for me in these situations is to be proactive. If somebody is taking and sucking a lot of time and energy, be proactive about setting up the conversations. Set up a weekly conversation or a monthly conversation, or even an in-person, like a monthly tea time, or we're gonna meet at a restaurant or a lunch shop or whatever. You define the time. You don't give the other person the opportunity to dictate how much of your time is being contributed. Now, lastly, I want to highlight on one particular thing that I hear a lot from my students that I've experienced that can be a really big problem. And that is people who want to talk about their problems, but don't actually change them or find solutions. And this is tough. Again, these can be really good people and people you want to help and people you have compassion for. But being successful in poker is incredibly difficult to do. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort. And the reality is, for most people, they're not going to have the energy to solve all of their friends' problems and have a successful poker career. So one really big red flag, if you have to have conversations again and again and again about problems that continue to arise and never get solved, understand that that is a complete and absolute waste of your time. That doesn't mean, again, that you have to cut these people off. Just have the maturity to say, hey, we've had this conversation before. It's not going anywhere. So let's just not continue to have the same conversation over and over again. Because good people want compassion and good people want to vent and they want to complain. And that venting and complaining isn't helping them solve their problems, and it's not helping you get any closer to your goals. I've had my students before track the amount of time they spend on a weekly basis in different activities, and you wouldn't believe the amounts of time that get wasted sometimes on certain conversations, on certain relationships, on certain family members, that drains their energy and puts them at a way more inefficient mark for trying to accomplish their poker goals. Before next year, I would encourage you to watch this video maybe even 2 or 3 times and set aside some time to really think about the people you want to let in your inner circle and have unlimited access to your time, and be very, very protective of that. As for the rest, keep them as friends, but just keep them in a distance where you're setting healthy boundaries and protecting your schedule, your time, your energy, your emotions. Hopefully I don't get flamed for destroying a bunch of friendships. I would love to hear what your experiences has been with all of this below in the comments. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get notifications when new videos come out. We put 3 videos out every single week talking about poker, how to get better at this game, and how to have more fun playing this game. I truly hope this video helped you and gets you one step closer to a successful 2025.